Hello everyone, it is Wednesday, July 15th, I believe. I already made a video early this morning. I sure got a lot done. Um, and then, I don't know, maybe noonish, I had to go back out. Well, I think I came in around 11, and then in about an hour and a half, I had to run back out and cover my squash because they were shriveling up. And even though the ground was wet or moist, so I sprayed them a little bit, covered them. Unfortunately, I don't have enough row cover. In fact, I don't have any row cover. And what I covered the baby squash with was, it's like it's black weed, anti-weed, some fabric that you put on the ground. I don't know where it came from. It was just kind of, it was a square piece that had been cut. I don't know where it came from. I'm sure it came from my garage somehow at some point. I don't use weed cover. Or although I will say that I could have gotten it. Oh, just a minute. Somebody's walking in. Oh, thank you. Big kisses. Ooh, you got such a pretty hairdo. Let me see. You braided in the back.
No, I braided it in the front.
Oh, you braided in the front.
And then the back is bubble braids.
Bubble braids. Oh, yeah. That looks pretty smart. I'm just showing the people the oregano. See, it's all dried now. This is the oregano that granddaughter cut. And it's been sitting drying, and because in Colorado we are such a dry, I mean, it took no time at all inside. I was a little worried because it was stacked up quite high, and I was worried that maybe at the bottom of the bowl it would mold a little or something. It was enough. There was enough circulation and pockets to where it dries really nice. So I thought I would bring you along. I've done more than half. I am going to have to go back through to get some of the little tiny sticks, although I'm not too concerned about it because the sticks are tasty too. It's just you don't want them too thick because a lot of times you're just putting this in some sauce, and you don't want to get a hold of, say, like see that. But they also, because they're so dry and brittle, they just, kind of crumble up. So and then what I have as a byproduct, of course, are the sticks with some, half and, got a little bit of still leaves on it. These are very brittle. I've just been packing them up here. But you know how people do smudge sticks with sage? Because you should smell my hands and around me, because things kind of go flying a little bit. I'm going to have to vacuum. And this is just my own personal stash. But everything just smells wonderful. And every once in a while I'll take a bite thinking, this is just really crumbly stuff. This is going to taste good. But it does. And there's variegated oregano in here and solid oregano. And I tasted it for you fresh before, because at one point I couldn't remember if I could tell the difference between them. But the variegated is very mild, very mild. The solid is much stronger. So I'm glad I'm putting the two together. In fact, I would more prefer just the solid. So this is a mix of the two. Because the plants have kind of conjoined, it's hard to separate them. However, I think in the future I might try to figure that out, or just plant some more oregano in the bottom there. There's a tomato growing in the raised bed right now, and so perhaps next year I would like a totally different, like I would love a Mexican oregano. I'm going to look for a Mexican oregano because that's even a different flavor. But I might try to separate these two so I can dry them separate because I like a really strong flavor, and the variegated is just very mild. So I would really prefer to keep the mild for some friends or whatever. Although, oh, she went running this way. She's gonna go upstairs. She's after the cat. Anyway, and the smudge sticks. I don't know. Tell me if you think that's it. They might burn like crazy because they're so freaking dry. So it's nothing like thicker woody stems. This might be a good fire starter for our fire in the fall. I might not even try to ball it up or anything. I might just stick it in a box as a fire starter for the winter. Anyway, so let's go ahead and let me see if I can put you down. Oh. What are you doing now? Are you trying to catch the cat? So these come off real easy. In humid environments, I think that it would take quite a bit of time to dry, and then this turns really powdery. But I'm just using my hands, and I try to grab. Unfortunately, since I didn't do this, my granddaughter did. They just ended up stick after stick after stick just kind of thrown in here, so it's kind of a little challenging. Are you chasing the cat? I don't think she would like that, dear. Let's try not to chase the cat. So I'm just... Here's one. So like I'll just try to get a stem. This is a nice thick stem right here. And of course it's easier with two hands. And this was picked right before they started going to seed. And so, whoops. And some of these have got some really big leaves on it. Like, look at this one. Like, this is, so, yeah, I'm just gonna put these in here like that. But I have quite a bit. Look at all this dried oregano. It's wonderful. Oh, and the aroma smells wonderful. I have lavender that needs to be harvested, and I want to go to, I hate to say it, but I'm going to go to Home Depot tonight when it cools off a little bit, because they usually have really, really, really good sales about now. And maybe even in a couple more weeks, they'll have amazing, amazing sales on their perennials. And that's where I have actually bought my plethora of lavender. And it's just the generic kind of regular lavender. It's not any fancy varieties. I did have some fancier varieties through a greenhouse at one point, but I don't think they survived. But last year, a couple of years ago, last year I did nothing. So about 2 or 3 years ago, when I went to Home Depot, I don't remember when it was, and I don't even know what I was doing there. Oh, I think I was still looking for a tree because I knew they would be on sale, some peach trees, but there was nothing. But all of the perennials were on sale. I ended up getting about 3 different lavenders in gallon pots that were, of course, had already been spent and everything, but you could still see and smell them. And of course, I ended up planting them in the fall. The summer wasn't too hot. By that time, it was kind of moving into fall. And so it's okay to plant your perennials. Oh, sorry. In the fall, there were quite a few dianthuses that are just, bright red and white and different. And so I got those. I think a couple died, but there were barrels, not barrels, well, like little mini whiskey barrel looking type things. It had all different kinds of dianthus in there, so I got a couple of those, and I think about half maybe or more than half survived. I don't think I lost half of them. My biggest mistake was, and my son-in-law had planted them in an area that just doesn't do really well. But right now, they're competing with my snow mound. I'm going to have to cut my snow mound down. And because I haven't been watering and taking that good care of my front yard and where a lot of these plants are, including my huge lavender. But once lavender's established, you don't have to do anything with it. But I am going to go cut some lavender blooms. And you know, the leaves are just as smelly. Smelly? That sounds terrible. Just as fragrant. They have great fragrance. So it's not just getting the blooms, it's also sometimes harvesting the leaves because they smell wonderful. So I'm going to do that, and then I will have a couple. There are more oregano that I need to harvest. There's lemon balm, quite a bit of lemon balm that's already flowering. So what I'm going to have to do is just pick the leaves off and try to leave the flowers. Of course, I guess the flowers will be fine too. I don't know. I'd have to look up whether there's much medicinal value in the flowers of a lemon balm. That I don't know. So that's what I'm doing. So gonna finish this. I'm gonna leave that as a fire starter. It would be nice and smell really good. Then I'm gonna go harvest the rest of these, let them dry. Pick some lemon balm, leave that to dry. I think that's it. I'm going to let you go because my dog is barking and I don't know what they're doing. Take care. This is a good way to save money. Really good way to save money. Oregano is very expensive, and there's a lot here that's going to last me for a really long time. And great for gifts in the Christmas. Bye.